Hello everyone. We are currently on the way to the gym. We're on the way to the gym and we're going to be doing a day 2 deadlift session. We're going to see how this goes. Last week I was in a different gym. I got to use some comp equipment and honestly, it felt pretty good. It always does feel a little bit harder, but I move better with competition equipment anyway. I also have some 2 count pause bench all the way up to an RP 9. Which is kind of yummy, kind of scrummy. I have a single, so a deadlift single at RP8, and then some back offs. I think I'm doing a 4x4 or something like that. That's pretty much how the session's gonna go. We're gonna see what I'm gonna be capable of doing for a single at 8. It's really easy at this point of a prep to feel like, oh my god, I need to be doing more weight, I need to be pushing more. It can feel very easy to fall into that trap because obviously you want to be able to be in reaching distance of like a PB on platform or a particular number or whatever. But forcing the numbers, like trying to force them or willing them to fit the RPE is a surefire way to like burn out and fuck yourself over on comp day. I've had many preps where I do not hit any PBs on my deadlifts. I don't hit any crazy numbers yet. Comp day is the day that I feel strongest and best grooved. So kind of like I said in one of my previous videos, like my deadlifts, they kind of show up at the last minute. That's very normal for them. Sometimes just knowing what your patterns are helps you make good decisions, helps you know like, okay, everything will be fine. And that's kind of the gist with this. I do also have some accessories as well, of which I think off the top of my head it's hip thrusts, dumbbell chest supported row, and some Elecnas. I do believe it's those. But yeah, deadlifts are going down. 2 count pause bench will be going up. I should say deadlifts are going up. I don't want them to go down. I mean, after I lift it. But anyway, that is my session. Let's train.
Muito tempo de resiliência.
it's a little bit later in the day now. I thought I'd do a little reflection on my session, but also I found out a few more things about my competition, aka the timing, aka when I'm weighing in. The session overall was it's kind of what I expected. Deadlifts felt, I won't say they felt easy. It's one of those things where, like I said, like my deadlift just turns up at the last minute, so it's kind of one of those where, okay, it's gonna be a graft until it isn't, and like that will be competition day. Hopefully, touch every piece of wood. I'll say good. They felt good. They felt solid. I know previous weeks when I've been deadlifting, there's an aeroplane. I know previous weeks when I've spoken on my deadlifts, I've mentioned how like my twisty hip, shifty hip sort of like situation is definitely making it feel a little bit unbalanced, but it's been less and less of the case. Like I've been feeling that less and less as the weights have been getting heavier and heavier, which is kind of cool, but I think it's mostly because some of my volume is now dropping off, or at least I'm pulling back on some of those back offs. The intensity is still higher, but I'm feeling it less, which is great. Happy with the single I hit today. I wanted no more and no less. Bang on what I was thinking of. Bench was way better than yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned, but yesterday when I did my day one yesterday and have my primary bench on that day one, it was a little bit frustrating because I had to wait quite a long time for the one bench that actually feels stable. The other benches, well, they don't feel very stable. They're like as far from comp spec as possible, but like, look, I'm no diva when it comes to it. I would just prefer a bench that I can like safely set up on, that doesn't have any like gaps on it. But yeah, I had to wait a really long time for it and ended up not being able to use it because I was running out of time, right? Which meant that I was kind of rushed my single. It just wasn't the best quality, like was not what I was looking for. And I was really frustrated in myself for like not being able to just get it together. Look, shit happens, right? You're not always going to have a session that is just plain sailing. Sometimes shit like that's going to happen. But I think it was truly frustrating because it felt like it was a good bench day. Like it felt like I was going to be able to monopolize on my bench a little bit more on that day. But yeah, it's one of those things. It doesn't always come together in a session, and to be fair, I don't need it to come together in a session. I just need it to come together on competition day. So but that segues me into the session that I did today. So I had my 2 count pause bench. I still think the pauses could have been held a little bit longer. It felt good. Like it felt really stable. It felt strong. And I was using the bench that I intended to use yesterday. And it felt strong. So it kind of just like bolstered what I was already feeling of, yes, okay, everything's in a good position. You just didn't get to use a bench that doesn't have fucking gaps in it. But yeah, you can get really fucking strong on any equipment. I stand by that. I would be a hypocrite if I said you can't. You absolutely can. I think I'm just a bit spoiled because I know that when I do use that bench and it is a little bit closer to competition standards, I'm getting the most out of myself. So yeah, it's one of those. Look, like a momentary diva moment is what it is, right? I didn't get to film my other accessories, aka my dumbbell chest supported dumbbell rows. Why did I say it that way around? Chest supported dumbbell rows, as well as my Electnas, but to be fair, there's nothing too exciting about them anyway. Yeah, news on the Compy Wompy, the times of my competition. So at first they were saying the under 63s, which is my weight class, the under 63s were going to be in the morning, so before the opening ceremony. That is not the case anymore. We are literally the polar opposite. We are in the evening. We are lifting off at 6 p.m. Finland time, which is like 4 p.m. UK time, so not that bad, but we finish at like 9:45. So look, all I'm saying is there better be somewhere open for me to get some food, because I will be pissed if I can't have food and a little drink. That's the news. That's the situation on competition. So the timings have changed. Very exciting stuff. As of Friday last week, I was 3 weeks out. So technically I'm like two and a bit. What is it? Look, like I'm just thinking of it as 3 weeks out because that's the easiest way for me to think of it. But 3 weeks out. still feeling good, still in one piece. Got another week of hard graft to go, and not just this one, the next week of hard graft to go. But yeah, I'll be sure to show you all the bits and bobs, take you along for the ride to Finland, and yeah, basically on to the next one.